education on how to do it. So hopefully this will be useful. So pelvic floor, where is it? So we're thinking about the muscles coming from the back of our pelvis, so from our tailbone coming forward towards our pubic bone. So it's almost like a hammock coming from behind and forward. So that's really important to know, because when you're then doing your exercises, you know which part of your body you actually are trying to focus on. Same as if you were doing arm exercises, if you were able to be aware which exercise, which muscle is responsible lost for words, responsible for moving that, for activating that. So if you knew which muscle was going to help you do that movement that you wanted to strengthen, it would make it easier to know which exercises to do to strengthen it. We got there in the end. So knowing that these muscles come from the tailbone coming forward will help us know that when we're doing our exercises, that's where we want to start. We want to start from behind, and that's definitely the biggest part that a lot of people forget or aren't aware of. So when you're doing your exercise, you want to think about closing your back passage. So imagining you're going to pass wind and you want to close that. You just want to make it a bit firmer. Okay, then you're slowly coming forward to your front passage, thinking about if you were going to pass urine. Okay, and just a point here, do not ever practice this on the toilet. Okay, so imagining you're closing your front passage as if you needed to go to the toilet does not indicate you need to sit on the toilet and practice doing this, and especially not when you're mid-flow passing urine. Okay, so never actively practice this whilst you're passing urine. This is just imaginary when you're not on the toilet. Okay, so close back passage, front passage, and engage that up. Okay, so you're coming from behind, scooping forward to your pubic bone, towards almost your tummy, really, coming forward. And I want you to hold that in. And you're holding, and in your head, you're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you're going to count at that rate, at that pace, for as long as you can hold. As soon as you feel like, actually, I don't feel like I'm holding anything, or I feel like it's dropping down, that's when you want to stop. Okay, and that will be the level where you are fatiguing. That is going to be your personal number of where you can hold your muscles, your pelvic floor muscles, at their maximum for your long exercises. Okay, so these are the fibers of your muscles in the pelvic floor that help with your kind of endurance, so helping keep everything in for a long period of time. So that's your first exercise for pelvic floor. The second exercise for pelvic floor is you want to work on the really quick muscle fibers. So this is where you're closing the back passage quickly, you're closing the front passage quickly, and you're drawing in very quickly, and you're holding for literally a second, and then you're letting go. Yeah, you're going to have a little tea break in the middle, and then you're going to go again. Hold for a second, let go quickly. And again, you're going to see how many you can do before you fatigue. And if you're doing this correctly, and as silly as it may sound, you will feel fatigued. You will feel like, oh, I've just worked something. And that might not happen straight away. You might feel a little bit desensitized to the area. You may not quite feel like the brain is engaging with those muscles. So it may not come naturally, first of all. So you might want to give it a go back to a next day and try it again. Okay. And if not sure, obviously that's what we're here for. We're here to kind of look at your pelvic floor. We can feel and do an internal examination, and we can see what's going on. It might just need waking up. It might need stimulating. It might need some additional support. But to start off with, if you're doing this at home, especially in lockdown where you haven't really got access as much, like we are doing virtual appointments, but in terms of hands-on, and you may not feel ready to be, in contact with other people, various situations. Anyway, long ones, short ones. Crucial thing here is when you're doing your hold, so if you're doing your long hold, if you're holding for say 10 seconds, you want to make sure you're having a good 10-second break before you go back to do the next one. So the breaks, the rest period in between each one is very important. So once you've got the max you can do of your long ones and the max you can do of your short ones, write that down. That's going to be a personal number to you. Okay, that is what you want to try achieving to start off with 3 times a day. Okay, it seems a lot, but if you can, and I was going to say sit down, if you can practice these lying down, really get focused on the muscles, and then you can build this up to being sitting. Sitting for some people isn't that comfortable. Lying is a great way to really focus on these muscles without having any other impact from gravity and everything pushing down, etc., etc. So lying down, give yourself that time, give yourself that permission to have 2 minutes in the morning, you know, just before lunch, before you go to bed, to just focus on your long and short exercises and releasing, okay? And that will kind of start giving you an idea of tailoring the program for you. And it's not forever, doing it 3 times a day, but I promise you, if you do it effectively, if you commit to it, you will notice a significant change fairly quickly. It will be life-changing, because